In my early days of learning data analysis, I found myself drafting and drafting roadmaps over and over again as my knowledge grew. That can be confusing, frustrating, and overwhelming. And because of that, I have decided to make the journey easy for you. Hello guys, my name is Obiko Yagbenga and I am the Data Doctor. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the ultimate and the most comprehensive, in my opinion, roadmap to become a data analyst. Don't forget to wait till the end of the video because I have some tips, amazing tips for you. Without much further ado, let's dive in. And here we have it. The first course, of course, we'll be starting with is the Google Data Analytics Professional Certificate. Yeah, I know the course can be is quite popular, but the truth stands that one of the best ways, to get someone into the field of data analysis is, taking this course. This course is one of the best ways. It gives you a soft landing. It gives you an introduction into data analysis as a whole. Um, I mean, it's just so amazing. It's just so amazing. Explains takes you through the life cycle of data itself, from where you get the data through survey, questionnaires, blah blah blah, all the way to where you destroy the data, or you archive it. Takes you through the process of data analysis on its own. From the ask phase, the prepare phase, process phase, blah 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 blah, all the way to the acts and the share phase. It's just so amazing. And so it's a certification that it's made up of more than one course. And you can see made up of 8 courses here. It's beginner level. You really don't need much experience. There's no experience needed. So let's look through what you will learn. You're gonna gain um an immersive in understanding of the practices and processes used by a junior or associate data analyst in their day-to-day job. You're going to understand how to clean and organize data for analysis, and how to complete the analysis, and using calculations from spreadsheets, SQL, R programming. I would say it's not so compulsory to go through the R programming phase of this certification. It's not so important. If you want to learn R programming, you can do that much later. But to start with, it's not so important. So let's go to the courses and look through. Yeah. So we've got 8 courses here. The foundation. Yeah, this course just of course gives you a high level introduction into the fact that you've got data everywhere. Whatever you're doing is data. You're sleeping, you're waking up, you are on your phone, you're going to school and all that. It's all data. Even you watching this video, it's data that's been generated, right? Takes you through metadata and all those things. Yes, as a data analyst, you must know how to ask questions, right? So this course breaks that down. And of course, the data you want to analyze, you've got to be able to explore that data. What is it about? And that's what this course talks about. Moving on. Yeah, processing the data. You've got to clean data. You must have heard that data is quite dirty. In a real world scenario, the data you get are not the type you get from cargo. Very clean data. Very, very dirty. You've got to take your time to clean it before you start analyzing. So this course will take you through that process of cleaning data. Yeah, then of course the next is to analyze the data. So the questions that you've asked earlier, you've got to answer those questions, and you can only do that through analysis, of course, right? And this course, you've got to share it with the stakeholders or the owners of the data, sharing your insights with them, or you've discovered, using visualizations and all that. Then yes, you give you an AI level introduction into R programming. So coming back to this place, the the visualization tool I was using is Tableau. So you can also go through it to have an idea of what Tableau is all about. And for our programming, I would say that you really don't need to do this course. But if you want to, you want to have an understanding or have an idea of what our programming is, it's fine. Most importantly is the last course, which is the capstone project, right? Um, It's nice to do, right? I mean, you'll be able to have a hands-on, get your hands dirty with all the things you've learned, taking you through all the, analytical approach into solving, into asking, I mean, answering questions. So you can do this project with just Excel, which is fine, and you can have it in your portfolio, and that's okay. Some hints before I leave this place. This course is an introductory course. So don't be deceived, don't be, cajoled by all the adverts and all that, right? You cannot get a job with this course. That's the truth of the matter. You cannot get a job with this course because it's just an introduction. You can't be introduced to something and you claim you're a professional already, right? I mean, that's, to be fair. So you can't get a job with it. And I would advise that you don't need to take, you don't need to stress yourself over getting a certificate from this course, right? All you need to do is go through the learnings and understand, have a great understanding of what data analysis is all about. And a way to do that is you come to enroll. So what I would say is that you audit this course. Auditing is that you go through the courses, the materials, the videos and all that, but you won't be able to do the quizzes. You won't be able to submit, and of course you'll be able to get a certificate. But that's fine because it's free and it's an introductory course. So a way to audit this course is that because this is a certification, if you come to enroll here, you're not going to see the audit option. So because you cannot audit the whole, certification. So what you do is that you come for each course, you open it. So when you open a course, you see enrolled for free here, and you see the audit here, right? See the audit here. You click audit, and it takes you. I mean, opens the course for you, and you know, you have all the cost to yourself, right? So another advantage of this course is that you're gonna see the you're gonna see the instructor, right? I mean, you're not just gonna be looking at text and infographics and animations. No, you're gonna really see the instructor. You're gonna be taken through the course by industry experts, people who work at Google. For example, let's check this out. You're gonna see this guy. He's gonna be talking a lot, right? Companies in e-commerce, payment, yeah, healthcare, you're gonna see a lot of that. So that's it. And yeah, now after this course, the next thing you want to do is moving on to basic maths and stats. You see, being a data analyst, you've got to understand mathematics and statistics. And trust me, the ones you need to land a job into data analysis are not those highfalutin statistics, right? Just the basic ones. I mean, perhaps not nothing more than what you know already. So you come to Khan Academy, and note all the notes resources I'm giving you, they will be free, right? Khan Academy is absolutely free. It's got tons of courses, tons of resources, but one of it is statistics and probability. And so you come here, statistics and probability. This will take you into the basics, introduce you into statistics, and all you need to do, as you can see here, we've got about 16 units here. You don't need to do all this, right? Because some are really, peculiar to data science. You'll be talking about hypothesis, testing and all that. To land a job in data analysis, you don't need all that. That's the truth of the matter. So I would advise that you go through unit 1 to unit 5 and you'll be good to start with. Take notes to start with. You definitely will come back to learn more, but to break into the industry, this all you need. You don't need more than this. So from unit 1 to unit 5. So this takes you through categorical data because as a data analyst, you're going to be analyzing different data, most of the time structured data, which can probably broadly be divided into either quantitative or qualitative, right? So you'll be, analyzing categorical data, taking you through how to compare quantitative data because, as a data analyst, what we are known to do is we build charts, right? And it doesn't make sense if you can build charts and you don't really understand the comparison. And, because if you don't understand that comparison between your data points, you can't get any insight from it. So this is quite important for you to go through. I mean, there are elementary stuffs, maybe not so elementary, but at least they are basic stuffs, right? You summarize quantitative data. what you're going to be doing a lot of time as a data analyst is you're going to be summarizing your data, right? And a way to summarize your data is using the measures of central tendency. As you can see here, mean, median, mode. You might have heard all these things before, of course. Distributions, blah blah blah, and all that. Moving on to percentile, Z score, normal distributions. I'm sure for most of you, probably be a refresher. And coming into scatter plots, yes, yeah, we are going to be comparing quantitative data. So it's really a good one. It's really a good one to start with. And then when you're done with this 5 units, you're good to move on. Now let's go a step higher. Now you've know the introduction to data analysis, you know the bit of statistics and probability. The next to move on to is the Excel, is to master Excel. Maybe not master, but at least to understand, to get comfortable with Excel, knowing how to analyze data with Excel plainly, right? And I'll introduce you to this course. This course is one of the best I've seen on Coursera so far. I'm not a fan of Udemy, sorry, but I mean, Excel skills for business and business specialization is an amazing, amazing course. It's a specialization course. It takes you through all you really need to know when it comes to Excel, analyzing data in Excel, and a bit more than that, right? Yeah. So the experience, of course, is beginner level, so it's fine. And what else? What else? What else? Yes, the certification is made up of 4 courses. There are 4 courses. You're gonna be. I mean, let's look through what you're gonna learn. So you'll be comfortable navigating the Excel user interface, of course. You're gonna know how to analyze data in Excel and then present a result in a user-friendly way, right? You're gonna create charts and tables. You're gonna understand formulas, the and, or, if, nested if, a lot of formulas like that. And automations, lookups and all that. So you're going to be taking through data validation, how to correct errors, blah blah blah, and a bit of Excel macros, right? Yep. And let's move to the courses. So, like I said, there are 4 courses in total. So, I mean, there's the essential. Of course, the essential will take you through the Microsoft Excel interface. Getting you comfortable with, you know, stuffs on the page. I mean, on the application, and yeah, that's basically it. Intermediate one takes you a bit higher, where you're going to be analyzing data, you're going to be building, yeah, going to take you through pivot tables, pivot charts, and all those things. And then the intermediate two goes a bit higher than that, take you through data validation, lookups, right? This is one of the, most crucial skills you're going to have, lookups and pivot tables and all that. So it's quite important to know this. Well, the advanced takes a bit higher, perhaps a bit higher than you need, but it's okay to have it. It's, I mean, it goes a bit more into finance, but it's fine. It's fine to know it. Like you can see, dashboard business. So to be nice to also have this, because there are some companies, particularly FMCG companies, they are big on Excel, so it's nice if you want to learn this. I mean, while I was learning these courses, I didn't do this. I stopped that intermediate too, but it's fine if you want to do this. Now, for me, I would say that you don't audit this course. Sorry. So I'll say you don't audit this course. You actually go through the courses, so you'll be able to go through the projects, right? You'll be able to submit. You'll be able to have access to all the materials that you need from this course. So you either seek financial aid for each of the courses, or you pay if you are financially capable, right? So this course is an amazing one to have, and that's it. Now, at this point, I would advise that you take a pause, right? You take a pause and you come out of the tutorial loop. What do I mean by that? At this point, you need to stop taking tutorials. You need to stop taking courses. That's when you are done with this course. The next thing you want to do is you want to build projects, because I mean, practice make perfection, right? Some say practice make perfect. Some says practice make permanent, right? So what you want to do is you want to practice what you've learned so far. So you've got to do projects. Do projects on Excel. Excel projects are big. I mean, don't look down on Excel projects just because you are seeing Python project. No, do projects in Excel. put it out there for people to know that, hey, I know Excel, I can analyze in Excel, right? So do about one or two projects, good projects, right? Put it in your portfolio and share it. Not until after you've done that should you move on to the next, right? Good. So next up is in bringing you into the world of SQL. In this world now, we've got to understand relational databases because that's majorly what companies are working on now. You've got to understand it. And the language by which you can interact with database is the SQL, which is structured query language, or SQL as it's called. Yeah, so and we are back to Khan Academy, right? I mean, it's free, so why not? And so this course will introduce you into the basics or the fundamentals of SQL and relational databases. As you can see, SQL basics is gonna, take you through how to create a table, insert your data, blah blah blah, to aggregate data. And as you can see, there are challenges here and there after every, concept introduced. Take you through challenges, and at the end of the module gives you a little project, and which is quite interesting. I mean, it was amazing for me. You will love this course. You will love it, right? So I did this project. I did, this structure was just so wonderful. Then it moves on to more advanced SQL queries. Um, yeah, I go into more complex queries, the and, or, the in, having, cases, and all that. Then moving on to relational queries, where you join tables, blah 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 blah, and that's all, right? You can also modify database. So it's so amazing. So it's a very good place to start your SQL journey. Moving on. So let's take your, yeah. So after you've done all this in the Khan Academy, you cannot go wrong with this website, and that's a W3 school. I mean, hardly will you see anybody recommend a site or resource, free resources, to learn SQL without mentioning this site. It's so amazing. It takes you through. So it's in the form of tutorials, right? It takes you through all the syntax, takes you to the syntax, to the statements of SQL. So the things you've learned in the Khan Academy, you come here, go through it. If there are other ways to write this query or statement, whatever, you learn more on it, right? You understand it the more. So you've got tons of statements and functions here, the inner join, left join, right join, and even those that you could not access, those that were not explained in the Khan Academy courses. You've got them here. Stuffs like the union exists, any, all, select into, stored procedures, which is quite advanced. Comments, operators. I mean, that's amazing here. And also is the SQL database. Create, drop, alter, constraints. A lot of stuffs you can just. So it's more like a tutorial, right? You just go through them. Nothing really in depth. Just for you to have an idea. And of course, you've got exercises where you can use to practice those the this the SQL you've learned. You can practice them through these exercises here. And that's basically it. So, and of course, even when you start working, you can find yourself coming back to W3 schools to come and check, how a syntax works or how a statement works. I mean, you can't go wrong with this. With this website. So, hold on to it tight. Good. Now, at this point, you can also do some little projects in SQL, of course, right? So you can do some little projects, whichever you see, do some little projects. No project is too small, right? As long as you've learned something, work on it. Like I said, practice make perfect. So try to do some little projects, put them on your portfolio. Oh, this is what I've done, and show people, right? And yeah, let's take your SQL a bit higher, so the next level. And that brings us to this course, the Meta Database Engineer Professional Certificate. My goodness. This course, I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. I'm flabbergasted, right? This course is amazing. This is one of the best courses I've seen in terms of depth, right? In terms of details, that talks about SQL, relational databases, and how to engineer and administer this databases, right? So It's a course by Meta, as you can see here. I mean, I so much love this course. If you want to really want to take your Excel, I mean your SQL skill to the next level, you've got to do this course. You're just gonna have it, right? And let's look at it. The experience, of course, is beginner level. Um, it made up of 9 courses. So you can see that you're in for a ride, right? So let's see what you're gonna learn. You're gonna demonstrate proficiency of SQL syntax. I mean, of course, you've learned all these things, so to make it faster for you to run through this part of the course, and gonna write database-driven applications in Python to connect client to MySQL database. So you can see that this is a bit advanced, right? Gonna create databases from the scratch and learn how to add, manage, and optimize your database. I'm going to develop a working knowledge of advanced data modeling concepts. I mean, I'm so eager, let's move to the courses and check them out. The first, of course, is to introduce you to the databases, you know, I mean, everything database. And look at this. The second course talks about version control. This is amazing. You see, one of the skills that is a bit far fetched when it comes to learners or junior data analyst is the knowledge of is the skill of version control. It's not so common to see in junior data analyst. So this course will introduce you to version control, where you talk about Git and GitHub, differentiating both from each other and how you can use it in your projects. And also moving on to database structures and management with MySQL. So the the flavor of the database that is actually used in this course is MySQL, which is amazing. So this course will take you through the database structures, how you can create a database. And one thing I'm quite excited about in this course is the fact that it explains the nitty gritty of normalization, right? Goes into detail on this, explains why it is needed, takes it from the first normal form to the second one, third one, goes all the way like that and explains it. And you can imagine it's an explanation. It's the course is taken by industry experts, guys that work in Meta. So this is, you are be rest assured, you're in good hands with this course. Moving on takes you through the advanced MySQL topics. So here also takes you through stuff like procedures. Stored procedures, stored functions, blah blah blah, and all those stuffs. In MySQL, how to take. Also takes you through automation, takes you through triggers and events. If you know what I mean. And those are advanced stuffs, which is very nice to have in your toolbox. Now, sometimes you can have an application that in an organization, the application might be built in Python with a backend. The database would be MySQL, where you've got to do some manipulations here and there in Python, right? So definitely you're going to learn how to connect the Python application to the MySQL database. So, and that's why a course was introduced here to take you through programming in Python, just to get you started. Then you move on to database clients. So database clients are like connectors, right? These are softwares or stuff that are used to connect Python, to databases or databases to applications generally. So there are quite a number of them, but what was used here is the MySQL connector Python or the MySQL Python connector. So you're gonna learn that here. Then you're moving on to advanced data modeling. So moved on to advanced data modeling. It's just a lot here. Explains data warehouse, and the most important thing about this course that I also love is that it brings the real world scenarios, brings the real world project into this, right? Which is quite amazing. Then after that, of course, then you have your database engineer capstone. Yeah, lest I forget, there's something also that makes this course quite unique, and that's the idea of peer review. So in this course, there are quite a lot of projects you're going to do, but for each project, there's an idea of peer review. Your project is reviewed by a peer, and um, you know, until you pass that project, would you move to the next course? which is amazing, right? I mean, it's not just like, oh, you're answering just 10 questions, so I'm done, right? Then you move to the next course. No, peer review. And these are things that happen in a real world scenario. So it makes this course actually amazing. So the last is coding interview preparation, and that's it, right? So for this course particularly, I would say that also don't just audit it, because if you audit, you won't have access to those projects. Try to get the course. Either you seek for financial aid somehow, or you pay for the course if you can, right? So that's basically it. So this takes you to the next level. So at this point, you should be able to do a lot of projects. At least try to do 2 to 3 projects in SQL, right? And from which you should also try to include the idea of database client. I mean, gives you a edge, right, when it comes to SQL. Next thing after all this long journey is you've known how to analyze with Excel, with SQL. You've done, a couple of projects. The next thing is you want to share it. You've got to know how to share this project with stakeholders, with clients, with business owners, and all that. That brings us to visualization and business intelligence. Now, basically, there are two major, um, two major tools that are used when it comes to data visualization and business intelligence. I mean, there are also other tons of tools, but two major ones are the Microsoft Power BI and the Tableau, right? I won't go into the argument or the discussion of which is better, but anyone is okay. Okay, anyone is fine. I think Power BI is cheaper. Okay, Power BI is cheaper and it's got free. I mean, there's Power BI desktop which is free, but Tableau desktop is not free, but Tableau public is free, so you can see. So it's not like one is actually better than the other. I think Tableau, when it comes to visualization, graphic design, and all those things, Tableau is a bit has an edge. But Power BI has a strong point as well, right? Yeah. So it just depends. You can pick anyone you like, and you can decide to learn the two. you know. So it's fine. Now, Microsoft Power BI Data Analyst Professional Certificate, as you can see, this also has a number of courses. So this is going to take you through learning how to visualize data, basically learning how to visualize data in Power BI. Okay. Yeah, it's beginner level. You don't need any experience. That's 8 courses. Let's look through what you're going to learn. You're going to learn to use Power BI to connect data sources and transform them into meaningful insights. You will learn to use the visualization and report capabilities of Power BI to create compelling reports and dashboards. Yeah, you will learn formulas and functions, perhaps DAX, and here, of course, you're going to demonstrate your new skills with a project, and you prepare for the industry examination, which is called the Microsoft PL 300. And that is why I would say that for this course, you don't need to buy it. You don't need to, just audit it, right? So once you audit the course, what you should now prepare for is the industry exam, which is the Microsoft PL 300, right? And that is what is actually worthy to put on your CV. And when you complete that, although you might not, yeah, now I can see this, right? So I would advise that, I mean, for the sake of this, right? For the sake of this, earning 50% off your certification exam. So I advise that you enrolled for this course, right? Perhaps seek financial aid, or you buy it, right? I mean, because of this, that skipped my mind. So for this, you can do that, because I think the PL 300 is $200. So if you can get the 50% off of it, that leaves you with $100. So I think it's worth it, right? Yeah, so let's look through the courses, right? The first course says that preparing data for analysis with Microsoft Excel. Now, because Power BI is a Microsoft tool, so there's this framework, there's a structure that when you are used to Microsoft, tools, Excel, and likes, right? You have an edge. You'd understand Power BI better, the structure of Power BI better, and I think that's one of the reasons why they take you through Microsoft Excel first. Also prepare data for analysis with Microsoft Excel. So if you have a grasp of of Excel, Microsoft Excel, then you are on your way to knowing Power BI better. Now, harnessing the power of data with Power BI. So here is more like a high-level introduction into data analysis in Power BI generally, the life cycle and all that. Introduce you to data modeling, visualization, and DAX, as an expression. And then, of course, I mean, one thing that Power BI has that is great is that it can get data from various sources. In fact, now the sources are now being, updated. You've got tons of sources, BigQuery, databases, Excel, both locally and remote. Yeah, you can get your data from a lot of stuffs. So here you're going to learn the extract, transform, and the load um, processes in Power BI, which is quite amazing. You're going to learn data modeling, and this is one of the most important skills you can have in Power BI, right? Um, we're gonna learn how to build a star schema, how to model star schema. By the way, I have a video where I explain how to break down, a flat file, massive file from Excel or CSV. Power BI, how to break it down into dimension tables and build a star schema down in the description or somewhere around. All right, so here you're going to learn how to use a star schema. You're going to learn DAX calculations. Yeah, moving on here, you're going to learn more of DAX, but also a bit into visualization in Power BI, the nitty gritty of stuff, how things are done in Power BI to get your visuals popping. And of course, creative design, that is adding, some twitches to your visualizations to make it amazing. I mean, for easy, data-driven decisions to be made. And of course, when you build your visuals in Power BI, you're going to publish it in the Power BI service, right? So you're going to build your visual in Power BI desktop. You publish it in Power BI service where other members of the team or where your customers or clients are going to access it. Okay, so and that's what this course is all about, how to deploy and how to maintain Power BI assets. And you're going to set permissions, blah, 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 roles and all that. So all those things will be handled in this course. There's also Power BI apps. So all those things are going to be explained in this course. And of course, you're going to take capstone project, which is amazing, which you can also add to your portfolio. And and lastly, your preparation for the Microsoft PL300 exam. So for this Microsoft Power BI, so your aim should be learning the skills, knowing how to go through it, and building at least two projects in Power BI, two nice projects in Power BI, and this exam, passing this exam, right? So that should be your aim, not getting this certificate. Okay, passing this exam should be your aim, and you'll be good to go, right? And moving on, if you don't like Power BI or you prefer Tableau, there's another course for you, and that is the Tableau Business Intelligence Analyst Professional Certificate. I mean, just like Power BI. So, an edge is that if you know one of these two tools, either Power BI or Tableau, you can always pick up the other one, and the learning curve won't be so steep, right? And so that's it. It's also beginner level for Tableau and made up of 8 courses. Let's go through the courses. Yeah, so this course actually starts introducing you to business analytics, then takes you through the business analysis process, something similar to what you learned in the Google Data Analyst certificate. Then also takes you through the ecosystem of data, the life cycle of data, and all that before it introduces you to Tableau on the fourth course, I think. Yeah. So this introduces you to Tableau, you know, then goes into data visualization in Tableaus, then move on to the advanced data visualization where you talk about having a dual axis charts, bar in bar charts, small multiples, goes a bit into maps, geocoding, radial selection. I mean, amazing stuff, right? Then it moves on to data analysis, because it's one thing to actually know how to design and create graphs. It's another thing to know how to detect, how to bring out insights, how to present your insights. So this course is going to take you through that. And of course, the communication, communicating data insight with Tableau, rounds it all up, how to build how to tell a data story, and how to craft a compelling presentation to your stakeholders, customers, or your clients. So this is basically all you need to start with. I mean, and of course, before you complete all these courses or all these certifications, most likely you're going to get a job. You're going to land at least a junior role or an entry level role to start with. Now to the hints, right? Um, you would see that I mentioned some things when I got to the exam. I said you should do projects, SQL do projects, Power BI do project, Tableau do project. You might be wondering, how do I get projects to do? Like, I mean, yeah, how do I get projects to put on um my portfolio? I've got two smart ways for you guys. Number one is that make use of these courses, right? All these courses, they've got quizzes, they've got hands-on projects, capstone projects. Make them yours. Download those projects onto your own system. Put your own, make changes to it. Um, make them your own. Okay, so add some important things you think will be interesting to you. Add your flavor to the project. Make them your own and put it on your portfolio. That's it. As simple as that. Because if you are enrolling in a project, and if you are enrolling in a course and there's a project for it, right, you have all the right to get that project as your own, make your own changes to it and make them your own. That's number one. Number two is that there's an idea called stealing like an artist, right? So it's very fine for you to steal but not copy someone's project. You can steal someone's project but not copy it, right? So when you steal someone's project, that is, you steal the idea, you follow the walkthrough, you see how it is done, and you do it your own way. So a smart way is to make use of YouTube. You can go on YouTube and just search, for instance, say Excel. Now go on YouTube and search Excel project or project in Excel, blah blah blah. You're gonna see there are, a lot of, a lot of um projects that have been done by data analysts. Watch those videos, follow along the way it is done, see the way things are done, and do the same. You can get data from the same video or get data from other sources like Cargo. Visualize it, analyze it. You do it in Excel, do the same in Power BI, do the same for, so if you do all these things, they become your own project. It adds to your own experience, upload it in your portfolio, and that's it. And that's it, guys. Always remember to share your projects, because if you don't, nobody will see them. And most importantly, take your time on this roadmap. Don't rush it. Learn the skills, and you'll be well on your way to become an amazing data professional. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, like it. Subscribe and ring the notification bell. Until we meet again in the next video, keep learning and keep growing.